Hello, I'm Cara Dahl Russell, and today on our After the News at Noon series, Courtly Love and the Cult of the Virgin, we finally talk about the actual book, The Art of Amour Honet. The facts that we know about courtly love came directly from a book about it, commissioned by Marie, Duchess of Champagne, the daughter of Eleanor of Aquitaine. The court of love fostered by Marie was a wellspring of all the arts at the time, and certainly many of the tales of chivalry and courtly love were being written in this fertile artistic environment. As we mentioned yesterday, Andreas Cappelaneus, Chaplain Andre, had written tales of chivalry before Marie tasked him with codifying courtly love. And this book, The Art of Amour Honet, is, for the first two sections, something we might expect to see in Cosmo or Esquire today. It opens with a statement that a dear friend of the chaplain has been wounded in love and has asked the chaplain's advice on how to properly conduct courtship. Section 1 explains which people are appropriate objects of affection, followed by almost a Dear Abby rendition of how to banter with the purpose of courtly love. And Section 2 tells us how to keep love alive. Had the printing presses been more advanced, I'm sure it would have had fashion and makeup tips. It is the third section which completely sets the rest of the book on its ear, and historians still wonder if it was the chaplain's duty calling him to contradict much of the previous text, or if it was a later addition. Section 1 tells us what love is, an inborn suffering which breeds humility in the lover. It does specify that the object must be of the opposite sex and fit to bear arms, meaning of nobility. It is this section which tells us that a wise woman seeks the attention only of a man of excellent character. And it does have makeup tips. A woman of worth does not wear too much rouge. And here we find it. A man who is truly in love will not think of any other woman. And, likewise, a woman who dispenses her affection freely is not worth courting. It is the second section of Part 1 that is both interminable and timeless. It details the banter of a young man trying to say all the things a young lady would want to hear, and gives many examples of zingers for the woman to shoot him down with. These examples are given in pairings of different levels of nobility to further codify what is appropriate in the interactions between these shades of gray nobility. As I read these conversations, I could not help but think of the scowling fashion runway models of today and the stereotyped courtship interactions between inner-city teens today and Janet Jackson's song, "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" This section is ready-made rap. It just needs a backup band. The third section of Part 1 provides an interesting footnote. While it is unthinkable for a man to court a nun, a woman who has devoted her life to God, our good chaplain writes that while a cleric should not seek love, everyone fails in perfection, so it is normal and fine for a chaplain to pay court. How convenient for him. Should you not find that distasteful enough, he closes by telling noble young men that they should never court a peasant woman, but merely try to get her on her own and then take her by force. No wonder people thought that reformation was necessary. Section 2 on how to keep your love alive surely has been innumerably plagiarized. I refer you to your local drugstore magazine rack for articles on Chapter 1, How to Keep Love Once You've Got It, Chapter 2, How to Increase Love Once Consummated, Chapter 3, How to Decrease Love, Chapter 4, How Love May Come to an End, Chapter 5, Indications that Your Love is Returned. Ironic that this chapter comes several chapters after consummation. 6, If One's Love is Unfaithful, 7, Various Cases of Love, and finally 8, The Rules of Love, basically how to tell if you're really, really in love. These rules include the usual sweaty palms, inability to speak coherently, and my favorite, a true lover is constantly and without intermission possessed by the thought of his beloved. Noting what we've said previously about the cautionary tales of Arthur, detailing that you can also not neglect your knightly duties, we have a conflicting set of rules of behavior sufficient to keep any adolescent confused for years, which may have been part of the intention. Interesting to note that the rules, which are primarily directed at men, have one for women. It specifies a 2-year period of widowhood. That speaks volumes about the results of jousting and war. Now, perhaps we see the real brains behind this commission. The first 2 sections draw you in with intriguing possibility and examples, but section 3 throws it all away and firmly extols the best love is a chaste love, self-subjugation, self-denial, and asceticism. And the highest form of love is the rejection of earthly love, a total devotion to God.